The nationwide rush toward green energy, it is a real thing, could lead you to sitting in the dark this summer, believe it or not. At issue, the potential of widespread blackouts as traditional energy sources are taken offline. Joining us now is Daniel Turner, founder and CEO of Power the Future. And well, there's the problem. Where's the power? Will the green energy push lead to blackouts? That's question number one.
Well, it's heading in that direction, and you see articles every day talking about looming blackouts this summer. And for proof of that, we just need to look at countries around the world and states here in America that have adopted the green agenda faster than normal. So in Europe, for example, you look at places like Germany, which is 20 years ahead of us. They have regular blackout and brownout problems, and they're firing back their old coal power plants because they can't keep up. You look at states like California, New Mexico, even last summer in my home city of New York, where you all are now, experience brownouts at particularly high energy times. And so proof of this prediction is just that we have lots of evidence of it already happening.
Yeah. Explain to us how Democratic states in particular are pushing for renewable energy, which is in turn weakening their electric grid. And does this come down to political decisions putting the power grid at risk?
It does. Well, look, green energy is politically popular, and even a lot of Republicans begin to embrace it to try to appear balanced and moderate, et cetera, et cetera. But the technology is really unproven. And maybe one day in the future we'll get there, but we're not here now. And so what's happening is that you look at states, again, like California, you look at states like New Mexico that have embraced it faster. What happens as a result is that they risk their entire electric grid. So then strategically you have to turn off entire sectors to protect the grid's overall integrity. When you're in California, it's a human decision. What neighborhoods do you turn off? It's never rich and powerful neighborhoods. In New York City last summer, someone had to advise the de Blasio administration what neighborhood to turn off. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was Brownsville in East New York.
Right.
Poor areas of Brooklyn. They're the ones plunged into darkness.
Right. So the states most at risk, you just mentioned New Mexico, you mentioned California. What other states? And then what are the dangers of nationwide blackouts overall when you take a look at the power grid?
Well, unfortunately, Texas has embraced wind a lot faster than the technology allows. And we saw the catastrophe of that last February when Texas had massive storms and their wind power basically shut down. And look, the green energy acolytes will always measure it in capacity. They will say, we have capacity for wind and solar. But that capacity only makes sense when the conditions are perfect, when the wind is blowing, when the sun is shining. That's a variable, and that is not always guaranteed. What does work is fossil fuels. And if you want proof of that, an area that's incredibly vulnerable right now is New England. And what did former President Obama just install? 3,000 gallons of propane. He didn't put up wind turbines. He didn't build a solar farm on his $15 million oceanfront mansion. He put 3,000 propane tanks because fossil fuels always work.
The consumer price index and energy and inflation rates, when you put those up on the screen, I mean, it's pretty alarming. When you look at the rising energy prices year over year, the percentage change in price from May 2021 to May 2022, for example, fuel oil up 106.7%, which, by the way, represents the largest increase in the history of the series. Also, electricity up 12%. I mean, these numbers are just incredible. Gasoline over 49%. The list goes on. What are the greatest dangers do you see moving forward, and when do you see relief?
Well, until we start to increase our supply, there isn't going to be any relief. Well, the other thing that's going to help with price point is when we reduce our demand. And that's what's happening right now with oil markets. If you look at oil, it's down almost $20 a barrel, but it's not coming down because of our supply increase. It's coming down because we are forecasting a huge recession. So we're using less of it, and that means economic depression, that means poverty, and that's not good for America.
Daniel Turner, thank you. Wish we had you on for better news, but hopefully next time. Thank you.